Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all fandoms, welcome to the Ferret and Raccoon podcast, episode 114. I'm the Indigenous Owl.
And I'm the Younger Raccoon. And I just want to quickly say sorry for any inconsistencies regarding my voice. I'm still coming off of a cold / sore throat / half dying. So, yeah, I just want to address that real quick. But yes, as most of you are surprised, we have another guest on the podcast finally. It's been almost... a few months.
Yeah, it has actually.
This is Owl's first podcast of 2019.
Yeah.
Took you long enough.
Yeah, man, I was flying around. That's what owls do.
Yeah, fair enough. And we're bringing you the first podcast of May, so we're almost at the halfway point of 2019 already. Which is scary because so little has happened.
Yeah, it's actually been very dull, so far.
Yeah, which is actually quite shocking.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it almost feels like the best is still yet to come, but even then, I doubt that. I really do. But regardless to that, how have you been over the last... I'm not going to say 5 months, because that would be a bit
that's just too
ridiculous. So let's just say April. Owl.
I've been alright. Pretty much doing my drawings over the last few months, actually. But I've kind of... I've been doing like this drawing challenge where I've been looking at my old folders and like redrawing them just to kind of reflect on how like much I've improved since like 2012, I believe it was. So I'm just continuing that. I was trying to finish the project actually before May, but because of like slow times, sometimes I can't be bothered to draw. It's long. So
it's understandable.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. And then actually not too long ago, I finished a game that I had for years at Digimon World 3. I managed to actually finish it after years of actually just farming on the game. I just thought, I powered up my Digimon so much that actually I could just wipe out the boss anyway. But I just saved it so many times. I don't know why. I just felt like I wasn't ready, and then after I thought, let me just beat this boss. It took me like...
Was it a game designed where you had to like grind in order to like beat the boss, or did you just decide to?
You know what? There's a lot of people that play the game on YouTube, and they go on to the boss with level 40 Digimon, and they can pass it like that. But I trained my Digimon up to like level 70, and so I just kept doing that. But yeah, it's a good game, I guess. I had like over 300 hours on it, but that's just over years of playing it. It's not just me banging the game out over this period of time.
Yeah, I'd be a bit worried.
Yeah.
And I guess people would then like start like drawing the conclusion of the reason why you weren't on the podcast was because you were putting in work on this.
And then I guess in terms of me, I mean, I haven't watched any anime as of late, but this is quite quick anyway. The last anime I watched was Terraformars. So I watched both seasons. Season 1, in my opinion, the animation, it was perfect. I love the animation. Everyone loves the animation because in season 2, the studio changed the animation. Basically, I felt like the storyline in season 1, I felt like there wasn't really much story in it. I felt like season 2, that's when the plot really thickened. The only thing that actually kept season 1 hype as it was the brutality in it and the animation and the art style. But the actual season 2, I felt like the story was way better. The only thing that went, I'd say, wrong with it was actually the art style. The whole art style changed for it completely, and it became like really shonen, I would say the terminology. It's
generic.
Very generic, and that's why a lot of people were complaining about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's understandable. That's something you do see happen as well within like the Western comic book industry.
Yeah.
Where like, for like, let's say like one issue or a few or an arc, it's just like a different art style, and you're like, whoa, this is like
what the
budget
hell?
compared to like, no disrespect to the actual artist, but unfortunately in comparison it's like, ooh. I've seen a few where I'm just like, hey, I don't even want to buy this anymore. But yeah, that's interesting though. I don't think I've watched that series yet.
Okay.
I'd imagine way back I've probably heard people going, yeah, there's a second season, or and I've just been like, whatever. But I'm trying to think. For a second I was gonna compare it to Evangelion, but with like the whole like last episode and that.
Yeah.
But probably best not to go there. Start a whole nother situation. Is that it in terms of things?
That's pretty much it actually. Yeah, for me.
Fair enough. It was been pretty low key for me as well over the last fortnight, I would say. Didn't really watch too much. I'll get into it in a second, obviously, because been dealing with a cold, haven't been able to get too much done for the most part. I was buying some vinyls, like you do. I'm not going to mention the vinyls I've bought, but yeah, I got a sweet deal. Surprising enough, on Amazon. The first thing I did watch, which I did watch 2 seasons of during my free time during the Easter holidays, was the Channel 4 series Hunted.
Okay.
Which that show makes me laugh, not in a bad bootleg way, but in a how do you explain? In a you gonna get caught kind of way.
Oh,
because
okay.
the premise of this TV series is you take a few random people in England and they basically have to become fugitives on the run in England for 28 days while you have ex-CIA, people in this profession that, deal with CCTV and the state, and they basically have to hunt them down for 28 days.
Right, yeah.
And it's basically the ultimate game of cat and mouse to some extent, where it's pretty raw for the most part, because the people that are on the run, they have one cameraman that just basically mimics what they do. It's just basically following them throughout it. But at the same time, the hunters, as they're called, they are on their case. They are like visiting their families on daily basis. They are tapping into their phones, checking the emails, they're grabbing laptops, they're grabbing phones, they're piecing together everything, and it's insane how they just go, right, he's here. Just figure it out. They just make the connection. They go, oh, well, it's only logical that he's here now.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane, because the first season was very rough in terms of, like, they were just doing it to prove a point. Can you stay hidden in the most watched country for 28 days?
Yeah.
Second season, they upped the game because they have, I think it's 12 people basically going on the run for 28 days. Anyone who survives gets a shared cash prize of £100,000. So the stakes are way higher, because obviously if some people get caught, that means more money for you. So at the end of the day, if you're the only person left and you're making it on that getaway, because they have to get away, you can't just 28 days hit, did it. You have to literally make it to a rendezvous for a rescue point, basically. If they make it there, that's money. And the second season was crazy because, without spoiling anything, it came down to just a few people. And obviously, you do the maths, they could be walking away with 50,000 to 20,000, which is a big deal because the stakes keep rising as people keep getting caught. And obviously, the hunters are like, oh, damn, we've got to find these guys.
Yeah.
It gets pretty intense. The way they get people is so dirty sometimes. It's so dirty sometimes. Where, to catch one person, they have, the drone, the dogs. They have people literally hiding in bushes in disguise.
Oh, my God.
They have, people parked up in cars.
Yeah.
And the paranoia gets to people.
Yeah.
You're paranoid when you're jumping out of, what was it again? This car train in the middle of its journey, because you're I don't trust it. It was ridiculous. But it's fun to watch. It's pretty damn intense, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right,
There's points where they just appear out of nowhere and they're yep, got you, boy. Really, really fun series, though. But it's one of those shows that also depends on, if there's a person you don't like, you're kind of hoping they get caught.
Oh, right, okay.
Sometimes. But then there's people where it's I hope this guy makes it. But it's a fun series. The only other thing I want to talk about is a show which I didn't actually know finally had its televised series, because it was originally based on a web series.
Okay.
And that is The Gore Burger Show. Now, I can't imagine most people don't know what The Gore Burger Show is, but the basic premise of The Gore Burger Show, to which everyone's going to be watching after I talk about this, basically an alien takes over a Japanese news TV show and decides, I'm going to turn it into a talk show now.
Okay.
He kills half the people on the show and is like, yes, it's my show now. He literally says, it's my show now, The Gore Burger Show. And he basically gets guests on and he talks to them. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
The best thing about the show is the alien is practical.
Okay.
It's a real, let's say, costume. I'm not going to say who does it.
Right.
Just in case you want to have that authenticity and all that. But it's a really bizarre and strange show, because you have this blue-furred, horrible-looking alien basically talking to people like rapper Danny Brown and Reggie Watts and Dr. Drew, who was a... he's a doctor, obviously, and a few others. I didn't want to say what exactly he specifies in, because it's a bit explicit, but and a few other guests who basically come on this show. And one of the best things about it is, other than its ridiculousness, is the fact that they're not really there to promote anything, the guests. They're kind of just there, I mean, Larry King, who's regarded as one of the most famous interviewers of all time, he's there on an episode, and he is just insulting Goldberger, but he's like, that's not how you do an interview. You know, but at the same time, it's part sketch show as well.
Okay.
So there are, like, bits they do. Like, for example, the Danny Bryan episode is the funniest episode because, for whatever reason, I won't say how, he's basically going to die in 21 minutes.
Okay.
So, for the rest of the episode, almost every answer, Danny Bryan is just going, I'm going to die, man!
Oh my days!
You know, and there are very great concepts. There's a lot of, like, there's some secret guests that appear, which it's quite funny who they get. But the show has a few issues where the theming doesn't make sense. It goes for this weird 80s theme, which doesn't make sense because there's like artifacting and it looks like a VHS, but it's meant to be a broadcasted show in the present day, but there's an 80s theme. But Goldberger is still doing things like talking about vaping and twerking, and it's like, where does this take place? Where in Japan is anyone doing a specifically 80s themed morning news show? Because it's not as if he decided that was the aesthetic. Yeah. That was always the aesthetic of the show before it became the Goldberger show.
Right.
So the theme gets really confused because there's like very obvious like staticky, like, you know, VHS mix-ups.
Oh yeah.
Which don't make any sense if that's a recording. Because then it's like, are we watching a VHS or
an interview?
You know, because, you know, for example, the youngest person that appears on the show is Danny Brown. He's like 37.
Okay.
Obviously, this is not taking place in the past.
Right. Yeah.
In the 80s, because he would have been a child.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't get that.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
It is very bizarre, and it doesn't quite work because it just comes across as annoying. Because I'm like, why not just set it in the present day?
Yeah, instead of trying to put the VHS effects on it.
But at the end of the day, like, a lot of the concepts it's a very funny show. It didn't get a second season. It got cancelled.
Oh, okay.
Which is a shame because it had the potential. I mean, they managed to get people like Larry King, like Danny Brown, who's quite a prolific rapper. Yeah. Reggie Watts, and they had some interesting stuff. Like they had musical guests, and some of them were like combinations of artists, which you never thought would come together, which was great. They had Thundercat and Reggie Watts do a weird improvised music thing, which is definitely something you got to see to believe, I guess. Yeah. But a lot of the concepts it does take a lot of inspiration from another show, the Eric Andre show, but it doesn't do it as well.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very funny show, and Goldberger's a very weird and unintentionally funny alien. Right. I guess you could say he often asked his guests, would they ever eat a dog?
Okay.
To which they all say no. And he can't seem to understand the difference between a pig and a chicken.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't get it. I mean, granted, he's an alien, but like he can't comprehend it.
Okay.
So he always asks them, like, you know, but a chicken is not a pig, and they're like, no, and he's like, oh, okay. You know, something an interviewer wouldn't ask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's weird.
It is very weird. He's a very weird character. He's about like almost 6. He's not too big, but he's like massive. He looks horrible, but he looks like an alien monster, which is great. And it's all practical effects.
Yeah. Oh, great. That's great.
Yeah. So it's not like a CGI weird.
That's good
thing.
That they
it's
do
like,
actually practical.
It's an actual thing.
That's good.
And it looks the costume looks great.
That's good.
Shame it didn't get a second season, but I did double check. Comedy Central don't necessarily allow American viewers to watch all the episodes on their website.
Right.
Some of them are just locked.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you can watch the web series, which is, I think, slightly better. They have some great guests on there as well. Some you've probably never heard of, even if you are American. But yeah, really fun show. It was a really good watch, and I'd recommend everyone go at least look up what Goldberger looks like, because it's amazing to some extent. But I've rambled on long enough. Let's talk about the last fortnight and that. And I guess the main thing we can talk about in terms of games was Mortal Kombat 11.
Yes.
Featuring 21 Savage. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 finally came back, regarded as one of the most bloody and gory video games of all time. This is the game that basically introduced rating systems to video gaming. You can thank Sub-Zero for that. It's literally the fatality where he takes the skull and the spine out. Yeah, that was literally we gotta rate this. Yeah. But the game finally came out. I think most people were pretty happy with it. I was happy with it in terms of the story mode, which kind of has a tongue-in-cheek time travel element to it, where they do kind of make fun of the whole "we're doing Mortal Kombat again."
Yeah.
and all the crazy things and the deaths and all that and the continuities and that, where like everyone's back to some extent.
Yeah.
Which works. In terms of graphics, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does.
In terms of the fatalities, some of them are pretty disturbing.
Ooh, okay, I haven't watched them. I want to.
And I say that mainly because like the graphics are so good, where there's like they're able to depict a lot more.
Oh right, okay.
In terms of like how a body looks. Like
yeah.
there are some where you can kind of see where they're going, but there's some where it's like, not to spoil anything, there's some where you can like literally see the insides of a person very detailed.
Oh wow, okay.
There's a few where I'm like, oh, that's really kind of
disturbing. It's too much.
Some of them are disturbing, and I think the one thing I don't like about the game is they have these fatal blows now, which are kind of like the X-rays.
Oh right, okay.
They're way too powerful and way too graphic, to the point where you're literally saying the fight should be over now. Like someone just got their neck sliced or something in their eye, in their brain. It's like the fight's done now.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's the only other disappointing thing was some characters not appearing when they really should have. But it's I guess it's worth a play for the most part. It's worth your time. It's good. Definitely one of the better fighting games to come out in the last few years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I think it's a big enough deal, I guess. I believe you have something you want to talk about as well. Ow.
Yeah, unfortunately, the actor Peter Mayhew passed away, the guy that plays Chewbacca in the early 70s Star Wars, so the original trilogy that came out, he passed away. I don't know, they didn't confirm it yet of how he passed away, but basically it's just, he confirmed that he had got, basically. Yeah,
which is a shame. I mean, I have no real emotional attachment to Star Wars, but it is a shame to see, I guess, an iconic actor to a character pass away. So I'd imagine Star Wars fans are pretty devastated with that.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a shame though, very unexpected. But then again, it was going to happen. Well, I'm probably going to have like CGI Chewbacca in the next film now, I guess.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, they can't exactly end it because one person died.
Yeah.
I mean, you think one person's death is going to stop them from their billions? No. I guarantee you Luke Skywalker will be in the next film. Somehow. But yeah, I guess we can move on to our news topics and stories. And obviously, are you going to be taking the big one first? Or introducing us to the big one?
Yeah, so, Sonic the Hedgehog, the trailer. Okay, so, first things first. Let's go on to the tweet. So basically, they're going to change the design because of the criticism. So I'm going to read out the tweet. So, thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can. Okay.
This is in response to the trailer which dropped less than a week ago as of this podcast going up. And it's... needless to say, I think a good majority of the human population hated this trailer.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's fair to say. There is no one really going, this looks fantastic.
No. I mean, actually, you know what? Surprisingly, I actually seen a few people that said the trailer wasn't actually that bad. And I'm like...
Contrarians. That's all it is. Oh, a lot of people hate this. Well, I think it looks good.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But simply put, this is such a big thing. We kind of have to, like, narrow things down.
Yeah.
Simply put, everything is wrong with this trailer.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, and I think the main issue, or one of the main or biggest issues is nothing appeals to the two main target audiences that this film is for.
Right.
And those two people being people who have played and watched enough Sonic to be considered a fan, even if they, don't, like Sonic or even relate to him anymore. And you have everyone else who only really knows Sonic as linked to video games.
Yes, exactly.
Is the pop culture icon. I can guarantee you most adults who don't even have children know what Sonic is.
Exactly.
So that's why it's no surprise a lot of people, even, other news outlets that don't just focus on video gaming or films, have picked on this going, this looks awful. Because, when you think about it, when, to the fans, it's just like a messy misunderstanding of anything and everything characters know of Sonic. This is not true. It's not accurate. It doesn't feel like they're trying. But then also to people who don't, aren't in that circle, the other side, this just comes across as like a really crappy, awkward, cheap attempt at a family film.
Yeah.
So you've got a film that was intended for, I'd imagine, universal appeal, and it appeals to no one.
Yeah, it's actually true.
How you do that is amazing, because usually you would not necessarily have contrarians. You would have people who would go, it's fine, in a more honest way, to some extent. But now you have everyone... There's reason, and justifiable reason, to hate this.
Yeah. And
that is bad. Because they're in a really, 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 really bad situation for the most part. And
you know what else as well I wanted to add to that? The trailer music. Gangsta's Paradise.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that.
Really?
Yeah, like we hear that before we even see Sonic's face.
Yeah.
And Coolio's Gangsta Paradise was a very poor choice.
Exactly. He's not even a bad guy.
He's not in a bad chat. I mean, you really are gonna link Sonic the Hedgehog with a song about the hardship of the streets, violence, damaged relationships, corrupted black culture, and threatening gangs with certain death.
Basically prison.
Prison. I mean, yes, they don't use the lyrics that imply that, but you do hear the phrase Gangsta's Paradise, and it is the song Gangsta's Paradise. It doesn't fit because we don't... Okay, let's say you've never seen Sonic.
Yeah.
I'm not getting the impression of a gangster or a cool guy or a hard thug.
Yeah.
There's nothing impressive about him. If anything, the song makes more sense in the context of Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik. If you know what I mean. Like, oh, that's a gangster. Oh, he's evil. And
I swear they had Gangsta's Paradise for... I forgot what the film's called, but it was a 90s film where there was a woman that goes to teach a class that are really bad. Yeah, that's the theme for that film.
It was the theme because the music video does take...
plays from that film, doesn't it?
It does take scenes from that film, yeah. So, as well, another point against it is you're basically using a song that was for another film.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people, some people do hate that aspect.
Yeah.
That was such a poor choice because
100%.
Music is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't necessarily tell you what would have been better. I would have went with something a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah.
I think they were maybe aping off the success of Us's trailer.
Yeah.
Using 5 on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were probably like, yeah, we'll use they're probably going, yeah, kids love rap music.
Yeah.
To which, why didn't you play something that's a bit more up to date?
Yeah, upbeat.
I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's trash, I would have at least said, oh, they're appealing to the kids.
Yeah.
Kids love that. I mean, you had you had Post Malone. He did a song for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You had Lil Yachty. He did a song for the Teen Titans Go movie.
Right.
I doubt they were paid a lot. So
yeah.
you could get a
Someone
very
else.
Low rapper who calls themselves Little to do the song for Sonic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you get 21 Savage to do Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you can get someone to do Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
You could. Maybe they are. I don't know. But that was a very poor choice.
Yes.
And that was not a good introduction for what we see, which is Sonic's design, which it's bad. Sonic's design is bad in almost every way.
Yeah.
I wrote a whole paragraph on this. I mean, first of all, his proportions.
Yes,
they're all
wrong.
over the
place.
They're
wrong.
I mean, his head is too big to the point where he shouldn't be able to keep his head up.
Yeah.
For the most part, his feet are too big.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, that might be the shoes. We don't know. I doubt we're going to see him without shoes. His hands are too small. Like his arms, are too short for his body. I mean, most humans should be able to scratch their knees. I don't think Sonic can. He doesn't have knees. I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. His eyes are too far apart.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't even look like a hedgehog.
No, he doesn't.
I double checked. His nose is more of a dog than a hedgehog.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I didn't actually look that far.
Yeah, his nose isn't accurate to a hedgehog, which I guess they could have got points for accuracy. It's more of a dog's nose, which is bizarre. Because, I mean, I don't have an issue with him having fur as opposed to quills, if that even is fur.
Yeah.
That might be cool. I don't know. It's not clear with his design for the most part. But, I mean, and the one thing I did want to bring up was, his weird teeth.
Yes, the human teeth.
The human teeth, which... Yes, hedgehogs have teeth, but they're not human teeth.
Yeah.
And they're like weird. They're like sometimes they're like jagged, and they look like they're dirty, and they're yellow and they're black. It's so bizarre. But the oddest thing I thought was he has like his hands are white furred, let's say, and he's got like a circle of white on his stomach.
Yes.
But yet around his mouth area, the muzzle, it's like more of a humany fleshy color. That's really weird and a little bit creepy. Like, does that imply he shaves? Is that like no fur there? Like, that's weird. Because why wouldn't he grow fur there?
Yeah.
The rest of his body, I presume, is furred, so it's like, what's going on there?
They're probably trying to make him a humanoid Sonic.
I don't know, and it doesn't make sense because he's got that little area where his mouth is, and then his neck is blue, and then it's just got that one circle, which, the original Sonic design was kind of like that, but here it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Nothing about his design works, so it makes sense why people are saying, why didn't you just do the original design?
Sonic, yeah, exactly.
And, you can improve it. I mean, people have done improvements. Yeah. They've done edits where it's like, this would be much better.
And going back to the music as well, they could have even... Sonic's got so many themes, they could have just remixed one of the themes, if anything.
They could have remixed one of them. They could have took the instrumentals to one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the amount of fan covers, I'm sure there are. You could have literally gone to any of them and said, we will pay you to use your acoustic, heavy metal rap version of Green Hill Zone, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Added that onto the trailer.
Simply put, or get someone to do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure you don't even have to get like a major producer. You could have been like, hey, I hear you're a producer, don't have to pay this kid much, do some remixes, you got the rights to all of Sonic.
Exactly.
I mean, for Christ's sake, Michael Jackson produced most of like the Sonic 3 soundtrack. Like, you don't have to make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, and I think I want to quickly address one thing. I definitely want to kind of talk about a lot of the contrarians that have kind of been defending this film. And I'll say this: if you think this trailer is fine and you like the design, that's fine. That's your opinion. We're not saying you're wrong. With differing opinions. But when you're going at it with a contrarian, people hate this, so I'm gonna be the, I guess, moral high ground and be like,
peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Well, no, they're not trying to be peacemakers. They're just trying to be different because they're the same kinds of people who are going, Game of Thrones sucks, and they're kind of going, where's the comments? Comment. They're those
attention
kinds
seekers.
of people. Attention seekers.
That's more the phrase.
They're defending this film, and they're kind of saying things like, it's just an adaptation, or it's not aimed at you, which I don't think is accurate, because if that's the case, who is this film aimed at? It can't just be children, because if they're just aiming at children, that means that Sega and Paramount Studios, are aiming too low. They're selling themselves short. You have a global, universal brand that people recognize, and you go, just make it for children. That's bad business, because you will lose money. Yeah? You want to get a biggest audience as possible. You want everyone to watch this film, for the most part. So, and it's kind of stupid, because these arguments are very void. I know they're attention-seeking in that, because essentially what you're trying to say is a person whose first experience with video gaming might have been Sonic the Hedgehog. You're trying to say that those people who have an emotional attachment to Sonic in some way, whether good or bad, they're not allowed to criticize this poor adaptation.
Yeah.
Just because they because it's a bad portrayal of him.
Yeah, it is.
They are bastardized. They are destroying like what we know of Sonic, because, and that's another argument I've seen a lot of the time where people have said, "Oh, you need to like stop hating on it because it's going to bring a new audience in. It's going to get people to buy the games and all that." And I'll propose this idea to you, or this scenario. So, let's say you've never seen Sonic before. You never played the game. You never know of it.
Yeah.
And you've watched this trailer.
Yeah.
And I said, that's based on a game.
Right.
Are you going to buy that game?
No. 100% no.
You're not. Because you didn't like the trailer, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to buy the game. You're not going to watch a TV show. Your mind is going to go, wow, that Sonic thing is rubbish.
Yeah. It looks absolute shit.
Exactly. No one's going to do that. That argument doesn't work. And I've seen so many people try and do that. Because always with these remakes and adaptations, they always end up being garbage. You can't name me a good one.
If anything, adding to that argument, if anything, I would actually want to research and where the original concept came from and what it actually looked like. Yeah. Rather than actually be going off this actual adaptation.
Which, to some extent, you'd probably be horrified. Because you might end up going, wow, I like this old design. What happened here? You might you might become part of the angry mob even
Yeah.
more. Going, man, this really sucks.
Gonna make that riot.
Well, I don't think we're too far from
No,
there, unfortunately. But, and I don't like that kind of, stuff, the contrarian stuff. It does bother me. Not that I'm getting into arguments, but I don't like that kind of stuff because it never has any weight to it. Because it always just feels like people just trying to be a contrarian, trying to find, because I'm going to put it this way. With these remakes and adaptations and sequels to films that people love, this is a lazy, bad practice. We should not be supporting this kind of stuff.
If anything, they should have just kept it animated.
They should have done an animated film.
Yeah, they could have done it.
There already is an animated Sonic film.
Yeah, there is.
Back from the 90s. Like, put that on DVD. I'd be fine with that. Release all of Sonic's cartoons on one big box set for his 35th anniversary, which I think is coming up.
Oh, wow, okay.
I think it's 35th. It's either 30th or 35th. I can't remember. But I would have much rather had that because I've got some of the Sonic cartoons because I love them. But yeah, it's stuff like that which I do not agree with. I do not agree with these adaptations, these remakes, especially when it comes to things especially when it's America taking something that isn't theirs and going about things. Because we discussed this on a podcast. We were talking about Sonic's design.
Oh, right.
And we were talking about how like American audiences are going, our design of Sonic is better than that original Japanese style. Because this Sonic was not designed with the intent of this is perfect for the movie.
Right.
This Sonic was designed with the intent of this is how Sonic should look. This is the better look. Obviously, the internet agrees. But
Stress.
It is stress, and I do get annoyed with this because it's just another example of why video game adaptations, anime adaptations, to some extent cartoon adaptations, and
the live action versions.
They never work. You can't
they
can't name me one that's good because they're not good. None of them are good. And don't even bring up the top 10 best anime. No, there isn't. There isn't any. There isn't any that you can say is good, and don't you even dare say better. You can't. You don't bring up better and anime adaptation in a sentence that doesn't exist and that never will. And it's not going to. There's plenty of reasons why, which I'm not going to go on to because I'm pretty sure this podcast would be 2 hours long.
Yes.
But there's reasons why. Everyone knows it. And that's another thing. I don't like this whole go and support this film because so that the other ones get better. I've seen a lot of with Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, yeah,
where a lot of people were like, yeah, the film was rubbish, but you should go see it so that we hopefully get better films. And I'm like, no!
The
film was
not wasting my money on that.
Not wasting my money on that or anything else that spawns from that. No, we need to stop. The film industry is getting lazy. You know what I mean? And that kind of lazy practice promotes ignorance at the end of the day.
Yeah, it does.
When you're remaking a Japanese or a South Korean or a French or a German film because you're under the pretense of American audiences don't like subtitles. First of all, it's a little bit racist. And secondly, that's the way it is, though, to some extent. If you're assuming that of the American nation, that's a bit racist.
It's like, actually coming back to, even though it's like 2 years ago, like the Ghost in the Shell film.
Yeah.
How they couldn't actually put the Major as like an Asian woman. They could, you know what I mean? That's like, what's the word? Orientalism, where they like, don't make it like authentic enough to the actual original characters or ethnicity.
Which to some extent, although, because that's the thing, I think it was Paramount as well, funny enough.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh God. To some extent, the argument for the Major, Kurosaki, she didn't look Asian. Like, I don't know where, a lot of people say, you need to make them look Asian. I'm like, no one looks Asian in that film. You could make the argument. You could also make the argument she's a robot. She can look like her, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was more the fact that they didn't address anything. Yeah. It was more the fact that they are... Because I always make this joke a lot of the time where I was like, where is my Alien 9 remake? Where is my Alien 9 remake? And I always say this to people. People are like, what the hell is Alien 9? I'm like, Alien 9 is a fantastic anime that needs to be remade into a live action film. Why is there no Alien 9 remake? The reason why is because no one knows what Alien 9 is.
Underrated.
It is underrated. If Alien 9 was regarded as one of the top 10 best animes, they would have already made a film about it.
Yeah, 100%.
They're not going to make a film about Alien 9. Because, first of all, Alien 9 is weird, and secondly, it's not popular. Because eventually they're going to scrape the barrel, and they're going to go, I'm surprised they even did Battle Angel. Most people don't even know what Battle Angel is.
Yeah, I never even heard of it.
Yeah. It's because it's robots in it.
Oh, right, okay.
I know we're getting on a tangent, guys, but I kind of just want to explain things. But, like, the reason why they did Battle Angel was because, once again, they thought that Ghost in the Shell was going to be a big hit. They thought it was going to be the floodgates to more sci-fi, cyberpunk films based on anime or Asian properties.
Yeah.
So, basically, James Cameron went, well, if we do this one, which is extremely similar to Ghost in the Shell, we can lynch off of the major profit that happens, and obviously others will follow suit. That didn't happen. So that's why Atelier Battle Angel got pushed back 3 times, because it was a film that no one cared for, because people went and they went, that looks like that shit Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
So they were stuck with a dumb film.
Yeah.
You know, directed by the guy who did Spy Kids. Yeah, funny how that wasn't on the poster.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Robert Enriquez, he was the guy who did Spy Kids and Shark Boy versus Lava Girl.
Oh, right, okay.
Same director.
Oh.
Yeah. Funny how that wasn't put on the boss posters from the director of Spy Kids and Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, same director.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, you do. I'm just full of facts when it comes to this subject matter. But getting back to Sonic, though.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Sonic is the major talking point.
Yes, of course.
It's insane, the fact that this thing exists. And I mean, I've watched this trailer a few dozen times. See, like, I have to flick my page because I've still got more notes. That's what you can hear. Like, the only kind of thing I did like, which is surprising, is compared to everyone else in terms of acting cast, who just seems like they are bored and just standing around and there is like no energy, no emotion in anyone's faces. Jim Carrey is the only person having fun.
Yeah, actually, does look like that.
I will give him this. He looks like he was clearly told mad scientist, and he's like, right, I'm gonna play mad scientist.
I was actually surprised that he was actually Eggman. I was actually quite surprised at that.
Did you know he was in it?
No, I had no idea that Jim Carrey was going to be in it, actually.
I did, I just forgot.
Oh.
But, yeah, I mean, he looks like he's actually having fun. He's obviously not taking it seriously. Yeah. He's just like, I'm just going to ham it up. I'm a mad scientist. I'll be mad scientist.
Yeah.
That's the only credit I'll give this film. Obviously, I don't know how the film's going to turn out. But, I don't understand why they made Dr. Robotnik literally a mustache twirling villain.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, that's very basic. Like, he's literally an all black dressed man with a mustache to twirl.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, the only thing I think that it's hard to explain, this outdated look could only work if, and this is just a theory, this is not anything I've read, if this is a disguise, or this is like him going, I'm so evil, these people are so stupid, I can dress as the villain, and people will still, you know, let me do things and stuff like that. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, this is literally a costume of him going, I'm the bad guy. No one seems to notice, to some extent.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of. But it is kind of funny that you do see, like, a more normal Robotnik at the end of the trailer.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, and you can quote me on this because I think I'm right, that shot, that's the end of the film. The reason why it's the end of the film, and I'll tell you why, is because if you watch the trailer as many times as I have, the scene before you have that awful missile, whatever Sonic was doing, if you look, Jim Carrey is wearing a red tracksuit outfit. And if you look at that scene, you'll see he's wearing shreds of that red tracksuit outfit. And obviously his moustache is now a little bit more singed. So he gets blown up and he gets sent to this world, Sonic's world, I presume. And that's where he gets the look, because he lost all his hair. And, you know, his mustache, which was nice and fine and twirled, has now been gone, poof, and exploded. So, and he's got the goggles on because he's like, yeah, I'm going to get Sonic. Oh, this is a new world. Sequel bait. So, that is the end of the film, guys. You have seen the final shot of the film. I'm sorry to tell you this,
He saved you money, guys.
Saved you money. That's how the film ends. Robotnik gets blown up and he goes to their world, whatever it's going to be called. But yeah, it was bizarre. And also as well, his robots, it looks so lame and tame. It's like, if you look at the games, his robots have like such character. They actually have like a sense of design. This is like, it's a black robot with like a red light. Or it's basically a transformer. I'm like, oh,
Transform.
Cool. It's stupid. And the other thing I want to talk about before we talk about the whole redesign situation. We got to talk about that child kidnapping scene / joke at the end of the trailer. Like, first of all, that's an extremely touchy subject for your family film.
Mm-hmm.
But secondly, why are those two people going, oh, he said he has a child in that bag, I'm just going to back away, this guy is weird? Realistically, someone's calling the police.
Exactly.
If that were me and some guy who has a bag that's moving, I would be knocking that guy out and calling the police. I don't care. I'd be like, someone get on this guy. Get now. Yeah. This guy is he's kidnapped a child. You don't make jokes about stuff like that.
Exactly.
I think they'll cut that scene.
Yeah, they should. They need to.
Especially given that they're going to make changes.
Yeah.
Which we got to talk about because the director, Jeff Foley, who is either the dumbest or bravest man alive today, I'll give him props. He, in his tweet, which is very emotionless and very soulless, you don't exactly know the intent. He could be really pissed off. He could be a genuine guy who's like, I want to fix this. I want to make the best film possible. You don't know. He seems to have addressed the criticism well.
Yeah.
Unlike some directors who have gone on a mad tangent and just decided they want to insult everyone and do this and do that and, you know, piss off the fan base and all
go on live on Instagram and be like, yeah, F you all.
Live stream.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, I'll you know, if that's the case, I'll give him some props for that. He's obviously a better man than some people.
Yeah.
The real issue now, which has made this so much bigger, is whether they're going to make these changes. Because the film comes out in November. That's 7 months at time of recording.
Yes.
How much are they going to be able to change in 5 months? And what exacally are they going to change?
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you factor in other elements, like you have to do preview screenings in order for more changes. The film basically has to be finished by September.
Yeah.
It has to be finished because it needs to be rated. It needs to be viewed. You know, other deals and partnerships happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure they want to, you know, do like a toy line or like a tie-in with McDonald's or Burger King. They need a final design of Sonic to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're losing even more money.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. So in reality, they have just over 5 months. That's not a lot of time.
Yeah, that's a tight deadline there.
It's ridiculous. And I think to kind of end this, well, in terms of my notes, to kind of end this, is like, I think Sega and Paramount, what Sega and Paramount don't realize is that Sonic's design isn't the only issue. They seem to think that if they change Sonic's design, the film will be perfect. No. There are many other issues. It's just more people are screaming about Sonic's design.
Yeah.
The actor, the secondary character, who is he?
Yeah.
His performance is terrible. Who is that guy? What is his impact on the story? You know, design of Robotnik's stuff. You know, Robotnik's design as well. Like, it's all bad. The acting is incredibly flat. You know, and that's why I'm kind of proposing, like, oh, well, if you have the time to, you know, change his CGI, why not do some reshoots?
Yeah.
Why not do some recasting?
Yeah.
Why not push the film back? Why not just cancel the film? Because here's the thing. It's not as if anyone wanted this film.
No, no one did.
And I don't think anyone will miss it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, and this is going to sound really mean, I would rather them cancel this film than them literally having to, you know, get the whip out to, you know, start cranking it on those poor designers and people who have to now rush to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, either cancel it or release it as it is, honestly. I don't really want people to be suffering for nothing.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be at the end of the day. You know, and that's the problem. They've created more pain. They should have just not said they're going to change it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cause more issues.
For the people that actually are designing it and everything, that's going to take a long time to do that.
Big time. It's not right and it's not fair.
Yeah.
You know, it's a shame. I mean, I'd imagine they're going to go quiet for the next few months.
Yeah, you're not going to hear anything of this for a while.
It would be funny if when they do release the other trailer and the Sonic's design is still not good.
Yeah, oh dear.
I don't know what's going to happen then.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Gonna leave that to fate.
I think we talked about Sonic and bad business practices for long enough. We got only 2 more trailers to go. It was so big. This was mainly going to be the podcast, but we got 2 other things that's worth mentioning for good or bad, I guess you could say. And the next trailer is going to be the trailer, the baffling trailer for Swamp Thing, which is a DC TV series, I guess. I don't really know because the trailer is very void. But as you know, as we know, Swamp Thing, one of the most murderous, unsympathetic, unrelatable characters in all of DC. I mean, there's a comic literally where he says, "I hate the Justice League. I'm gonna kill them." Now that's obviously a joke because Swamp Thing is not a murderous monster. He's the opposite of this trailer actually, and. I'm gonna be blunt. Whoever edited this trailer should have been fired. This was bad. This was, people are gonna get angry. In my opinion, this was worse edited than the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. Like, there are so many jump cuts. There are so many weird flashing light cuts. Whatever you call that.
I remember that. Yeah.
They clearly shot this TV series in 30 frames because there's like awful slow-mo where the movement is so janky that you can tell, you're like, what is going on there? Yeah. Like that scene where the door opens and some guy is like doing something on the ground. It's like, the movement is so slow. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, just show the clip it's so bad. It's so bad because I'm just like, what are you doing? And I think we'll get to the main point which I get to talk about. It's basically ripping off the Thing.
Yes, 100%.
They are ripping off the Thing because whoever's working on this they were obviously told what Swamp Thing was and they're like, oh, just like the Thing.
Yeah, let's just...
That's what he is. He's a monster that kills people. I'll turn him into that. And even if this is like his origin story or they're going to try and do, he's misunderstood, he's still killing people. Or something's killing people. Or you're running from him like he's a monster. And there are some shots that are literally like the Thing.
Yeah.
Like, I told you earlier, the shot of the lady on the table screaming, that's literally framed exactly like in the Thing. So, and like the whole lab scene and all that, and it's very obvious what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. 100%.
Swamp Thing, as a practical effect, looks like trash. When he's coming out the swamp, I'm like, oh, wow. Nice Halloween costume, bro. I mean, I've seen better on Goosebumps.
Damn.
I have. I've seen better on Goosebumps.
Oof.
Either they have no budget or they just don't care.
They probably just don't care.
They most likely just don't care. I mean, the sound design was hilarious because it was mixed too low because they were playing some like threatening song, but it was mixed far too low.
Oh right, okay.
And then you can hear like they used the same stock lady screaming like twice in a row. Like when she's on the table screaming, then when she like dives into the water, which I don't know who dives into the water like that. She wasn't flung.
That just sounds like a glitch that happens in a game or something.
It kind of looked like she just dives into the water and they just felt the need to add a scream. And she's like, ah! It's like, what is going on there?
My
it's
days.
Like, there's too much CGI was used in this. Swamp Thing is a practical thing. You should be using practical effects. Like I said, they probably don't have a budget for this.
Maybe, yeah. That's probably what's going on.
Which is a massive shame because there is potential in a Thing-like TV series. I'm not saying do a The Thing TV series. I'm saying something where it's like it's a threat that could be anyone and it's always changing, it's always killing people. That works great as a TV show. That's probably what they're trying to do. They're
just not executed right.
Not at all. They're just trying to rip off The Thing. Yeah. Simply put. But they're like, and I think, you know what this reminded me of? It reminded me of the new Pet Sematary trailer.
Oh right.
Because this was trying really hard to be scary.
In what part exactly?
Every part. Like it looked rubbish, and they were trying really hard to make it look scary. It was like children in masks, this brand new concept in horror films.
Yeah.
I've never seen creepy children in masks before. I've never seen zombies before in a film.
Yeah, this is so original.
So original. Oh, also, it's based on a book, based on a film. Great. I wonder how well it did in the box office. Oh, it flopped. Whoa. Wow, who's surprised? It's funny though, I said that to I mentioned the Pet Sematary film to Recess, who's also been on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
He completely forgot about that film. He was like, that came out? I was like, yeah, and it flopped. And he was like, oh. Wow, I can't wait for It Part 2 to come out. from the producers of Pet Sematary.
Oh dear.
Because that's what they were saying on the Pet Sematary trailer. From the producers of It. Yeah, you won't see Pet Sematary ever get mentioned again. But yeah, anything you want to add to this trailer for the most part?
With the actual, I actually thought of something really silly when I first watched it. I was like, "What's Venom doing here?" Seriously, I was like, "Okay, what is it? Like another remake of Venom?" I was just like, "Really?
DC got the rights to Venom.
Yeah, they got the rights to Venom
and still messed it up.
Bootleg Venom.
Oh god, it's ridiculous. I know you're not like too big into like horror because I guess this is going for horror.
Yeah,
but it's a very poor attempt. If they used practical effects, I would have been more interested. But you know, DC's just on this weird like we gotta rip off everything now.
Yeah,
like,
and it's not good.
It's like they tried to be original with their films, which sucked, and they tried to rip off Marvel, which people didn't like because they messed up anyway. And it's like we're just gonna rip off famous films now.
Yeah.
Just rip off the Thing, you know, because everyone knows Swamp Thing likes to kill people. It's all he does.
That's his motive.
It's his motive. He just loves killing people. Yeah. He's going to kill everyone in this trailer. I generally want to watch this show because I think it's going to be hilarious. If it's edited just like this trailer, it's going to be funny. Because I don't know what they were thinking. They must have edited this in like half an hour. So you're going to make it look scary. Or either it's not scary and they're trying to make it look scary.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Where it's like all that we've seen in the trailer is like that's the only like horror scary scenes. Yeah. The rest is just going to be like, oh, where's that biological thing that was in the swamp?
And you know what else as well about the trailer? You know the bit where that little girl looked like she got possessed or something?
No, she was having a seizure.
Oh, she was having... Oh.
Well, I'm guessing.
Oh, right, okay.
Swamp Thing didn't possess no one.
Oh, right, okay. It looked like she was possessed.
The only thing that Swamp Thing could be doing is Swamp Thing can, if you have plant life or like chemicals on your face, on your body, he can control that, so he can kill you from inside.
Right, okay.
I doubt Swamp Thing is going to be killing a child in this TV show. But
I felt like the people behind were like taking their merrily time to check if she was okay. It's like, oh, what's happening? Yeah, I don't know. It's really delayed.
That's Susie. She's just like that. She just falls on the floor every now and then and pretends to have a seizure.
Yeah, it's like there's no concern there. It's like, oh right, yeah. I don't know.
It's not like my school where I remember some guy, he collapsed while we were having assembly, and then the head teacher had the audacity to say, "Everyone stay calm and don't panic," and he was right next to me. He just collapsed, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" He could have just died, you know.
You need to check. You gotta get them conscious.
Yeah, it wasn't like a. And that's the thing. I don't know why I looked round at him, but I just so happened to look round at him at the time, and it was like a proper dived and fell on the floor.
Oh my god!
Like he looked like he was holding his breath and he just dropped on the ground, and I was like, I looked back at the teachers like, you ain't gonna do nothing about like immediately.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
Like, you're not gonna do nothing about
exactly.
Because people understandably got up their seat and went, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it was like, stay calm. Like, no, someone we know was just fallen on the floor. They could have been killed. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, they were taking their sweet time.
Yeah.
I told her she was struggling.
Exactly.
I don't know. Watch it's going to be like the new Godzilla film where it's like, oh, she has a connection with Swamp Thing.
Oh, no. No, don't do that.
I bet. Because everyone is hyping the Godzilla film, but I have a sneaky suspicion they're lying.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to Godzilla.
I mean, I'm interested to see what happens, but I have a feeling they're lying. A lot of promotion on that child in that Godzilla trailer. And I'm like, why is this child important? I have a feeling she's the main star of this film.
Oh no.
That's my feeling.
No, I don't want that to happen. No.
They seem to really like that shot of her standing in the rain smiling for some reason. They keep using that shot.
I actually thought it was a boy, you know. Oh my god.
Is it not?
I don't even know.
Is it a girl? I don't know.
I don't even know anymore.
No disrespect to the actor.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'd never thought about it. That's a good point though. But yeah, this trailer sucked. But it's funny. It generally made me laugh. And yeah.
I thought the trailer of this TV series was boring, honestly. I was like, okay, this is trying to be scary.
And the amount of people going, man, this looks sick. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's just boring. Looks like it's just been done way too much. It's oversaturated. 100%.
It's unoriginal.
Yeah, definitely.
Time. You're right. It's ridiculous. But let's move on to our third and final trailer, which is going to be a series I've been looking forward to for a long time, and that's Tuca and Bertie. Although she seems to say Bertie, though it seems to be a spelt Bertie, the Tuca character seems to say more Bertie. D. But,
Okay.
I don't know, it might just be accent or whatever.
Maybe, yeah.
But maybe the R is silent, I don't know. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this series for a long time, like I've already mentioned, and this is exactly what we needed. We needed a female-driven animated slice-of-life comedy taking place in a surreal, psychedelic, 90s-esque cartoon vibe.
Yeah.
Perfect. I was not expecting it to be in such a weird world as it is, because it's nonsensical, the world. Yeah. It's like a snake train.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Like, the houses are multicolored, and there's other weird things in the trailer where I'm just like, what is going on?
But it's cool, though.
It looks really cool. It looks like it's straight out the 90s. And that might be the point of it.
Yeah.
Because this is coming from the creators of BoJack Horseman.
Okay, yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be a good parallel to BoJack Horseman, which is a little bit more, well, compared to this, grounded in reality, despite it's talking animal humanoid characters.
Right, yeah.
Which could work. It reminds me a lot of Regular Show as well.
Yeah, actually, I thought the same thing when I saw it. I was like, oh, okay.
I was getting a lot of Regular Show vibes, because Regular Show just goes in too hard with its weirdness in terms. Because fun fact, there's a great if you watch kind of the behind the scenes of Regular Show, there was with the creator JD Quintel. He has like these 3 pictures he has on his wall, and he's like, these are the foundations for every Regular Show episode, and it's like 40%, I think it was like 20% story, 30% problem, 20% random craziness that happens at the end. And that was like the formula for every Regular Show
That's
episode,
amazing.
which is true.
Yeah.
That happens in every episode. It just goes off the wall. You can ask Obsidian about that. But that's good. It's good to see that. I don't have to take an inspiration from it, but we need more stuff that's unapologetically weird and of the time. Yeah. Because it's weird. It really is weird.
And also, like, I don't know which character that Tiffany Haddish is voice acting, but I think they picked a good person to do it.
Both the voice casts, I think, spot on.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
And I think the characters themselves, they are weird. It's like a robin redbreast bird and a toucan, which, if you look at a toucan bird, it's a weird bird.
I haven't seen one,
well, that's what she looks like, a toucan. It's like its beak is so big that it can't really look forward.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'd imagine a lot of the time the character's going to be like flat.
Yeah,
like
probably,
that, because it's a weird bird.
It's like what they call that cartoon, Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to look to the side.
Yeah, because his nose is so big.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's probably gonna. I'd be surprised if they didn't make a joke about that.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Reference to that'd be cool.
That would be funny, but it's not entirely a all bird world. There's other animals I saw there as well, which I'm kind of surprised about. I don't think it's the same world as BoJack Horseman.
Nah, probably not. No.
But then again, this is coming from the same artist / author as My Dumb Dirty Eyes.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
That's a comic they did before they did BoJack Horseman.
Okay.
So it makes sense. Their stuff is just weird now.
Yeah.
I mean, talking animals, of course.
Yeah.
But it is interesting though, because I'm kind of interested to see this series essentially tackle, I guess, a lot more issues regarding females and females of that age in a very weird and strange way. Yeah. And if it's done in, like, let's say they're making metaphors in the terms of like monsters attacking them and, you know, crazy stuff happening to the world, that if done well could be like top notch. Yeah. Which I'm hoping for. I mean, the show is so colourful. It's like the definition of a cartoon. Yeah. Which is great, and it's kind of glad, because it basically is a spin-off of BoJack. So I'm kind of glad we've got more of that. Whether it'll be good, I don't know, because it was just like, we just got clips, funny clips. I mean, Tuca has like a panther pet, and they're, you know, not scuba diving or what, they're on the sea and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's even a really weird scene where they're like, I guess it's a chase scene, and like one car is on the bridge, and they go off the bridge, and they're just traveling on, I guess, Birdie just saying shit repeated, and I'm just like, what? Like, like, how is that possible? Like, you know, stuff like that is just weird. And I hope they really, you know, work with stuff like that, where it's like very nonsensical stuff that makes you go, hold on a sec, I need to rewind that. Yeah,
and I like the bit as well in the trailer where they're in the boat, and the two other, I don't know what animals they were, the two other female creatures were like, oh yeah, you know, you're older than 30 years, you're like 30 years old, you're too old or something like that. And it's like that rivalry between how women can be at times.
Yeah, I think they literally said, oh yeah, see you later, grandma. And
see you later, grandma.
And she, not really getting the insult, was like, we're 30.
Yeah, but I like that.
That stuff is great. And I do like how, well, I'm guessing, because from what's implied in the trailer, I guess Bertie has like a job, and I guess she's the more professional one. So I'd imagine they're probably gonna make like a lot of references to like you know, females in the workplace, glass ceiling, you know, representation, you know, body positive stuff, which if done well, which, because, you know, with something like that, it could go wrong big time, but given where, I'm sorry to keep mentioning it, given where BoJack Horseman has
Yeah.
gone, I think we're in safe hands for the most part, because BoJack Horseman has become a very dark series.
Oh, okay.
And I'm guessing this is going to be the more upbeat, light
Yeah,
series.
probably more than likely, yeah.
Because BoJack Horseman has done some pretty dark stuff.
Ooh.
Not in a like we have to be dark kind of stuff. I'm
Oh.
talking like the subject matter is dark.
Oh, right,
And
okay.
it's handled in a very upsetting way, but it's accurate.
Okay,
Without
yeah.
spoiling anything.
Okay.
But I'm really looking forward to this series. It's probably like my number one TV show right now
Oh, right, okay.
in terms of what I want to watch, because I'm just like, you know, it appeals to me,
Yeah.
simply put. I mean, you know, it looks like a 90s cartoon. It looks like, you know, you could take a scene from this and Rocko's Modern Life and some people wouldn't be able to know the difference.
Yeah.
Because it looks like that, and I miss that era. It's a shame. I mean, and that's the thing as well, it's not ugly,
Yeah.
which I'm glad they didn't go for an ugly aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's simply drawn, but it works. But I
Yeah.
imagine the creativity is going to come in the world and the characters, because, like I said, even just like a Robin and a Toucan is weird enough as the two main characters. Like I said, the Toucan bird is weird. It's just weird. All birds are weird. I'd imagine there's going to be like a peacock character, or I think there was even in the trailer, or, you know, those birds of paradise, because they always have weird feathers and that. It should be a spectacle regardless. But anything else? Well, let's end this podcast with the video of the episode, and that is going to be Open Mike Eagle and MF Doom Police Myself. Now, this does need explaining, because this is a song coming from the new Comedy Central sketch show, The New Negroes.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, it is called that. It is a show that it's a comedy sketch show with Open Mike Eagle, who, as he says, he handles the rapping side of it.
Okay.
While I can't remember the other guy, he's the comedian, he handles the comedic side of things.
Okay.
And it's basically a social aware comedy, kind of raising kind of ideas and concepts about black culture in today and in the past and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's kind of why it has the name The New Negroes.
Okay.
Which I did make the very funny joke where I was basically saying, you know, within the trailer of the show, there's a shot where, you know, someone's doing stand-up, and I'm like, I bet these people aren't even sure if these audience members aren't even sure if they're allowed to say the name of the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, what? That's the name of the show? Really? Okay.
It is called that, The New Negroes.
Okay.
But this song, the concept is pretty funny, because it basically is a song about racial profiling / self-racial profiling.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of interesting, because the main concept is Open Mike Eagle was basically rapping, you know, to some extent about there literally being a metaphorical or physical policeman inside his head.
Oh, wow.
Kind of making him kind of second guess and questioning, you know, the things he does.
Oh, wow.
You know, so that, you know, there are great lines in the song where I think he says, you know, he likes to smoke weed, but like he's he's saying like weed is illegal, but he's smoking it like it's illegal.
Oh,
you know, and it's kind of like, you know,
okay.
that kind of sense. And there, you know, and, you know, even at the end of the video, there's a great kind of message towards it where he's, I guess, talking to his son, and he's like saying, oh, you see, that's the thing, you can't be acting like this, because you're black, people are going to treat you a certain way. And you see the kid is getting influenced with all these like stereotypes and all this like you know, all these fears are being put back into this child. And at the very end of the video, you see a kid and a police cops and kind of sit down in his brain, so you know, the cycle kind of continues. So it's I thought it was a brilliant concept.
Yeah, that's a really good concept.
Especially for a comedy sketch show that's part music, part comedy. And also good. MF Doom, one of my favorite rappers of all time, is on here. He doesn't appear in the music video, unfortunately, but he's there just rapping.
Okay,
so Open Mike Eagle, one of my favorite rappers as well at the time. So this is a nice treat. But definitely watch this video. Definitely go and watch The New Negroes if you can. Somehow I'm going to try and watch it. Anything else you want to add to this podcast before we wrap it up?
No, not really, actually, no. I haven't got anything else to talk about.
No, I think we're done. It was quite a long one. We went on a few tangents, but I think it was appropriate.
Yeah.
given what we were talking about. It's been a weird podcast, and that's not me saying just because you've been on it. I'm talking about the things we've been talking about.
Yeah, the Sonic, it's just a bit too
Sonic,
much.
and then Swamp Thing, and then birds.
Actually, no, something has popped back into my head, actually, about Mortal Kombat, actually. With the characters being added back into the game, it kind of felt a bit more like Mortal Kombat 9 again, if I must say. Like, I felt like with Mortal Kombat 10, I felt like with the mechanics of it, I felt like just like Mortal Kombat with Injustice mechanics. I felt like that. And I didn't really like Mortal Kombat 10 that much in comparison, but I feel like Mortal Kombat 11 feels like a new fresh game, almost. Yeah.
Which is good, because I'd imagine that's their intention, because given what they're going to do with it, I guess another game at some point, they can do a little bit more creative stuff with it, I guess you could say. Like, you know, they made new characters, which obviously, if you have such a staple video game franchise, you make new characters, obviously people are going to know, these characters suck.
Yeah.
All the new characters have been added so far are great. I think. I like them. I don't know about other people, but I like them. Devourer and called Mortal Khan?
Kotal Khan.
Kotal Khan, that's what it's called, yeah.
He got beaten up in his own trailer. I was like, damn, they do not like this character.
No, he doesn't have the best of time in the story mode. But
okay.
even some of the new characters do feel like they should have been there from the beginning. Like there's a new character called the Collector.
Okay.
Spelt with a K, obviously.
Yeah.
And he's just some guy. He likes collecting things. He's just some like 6-armed guy.
Oh right. Okay.
Like some creature thing. And he looks like he should have been there the whole time. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but it is a bit weird with a time travel story concept where it's like you see all these new characters talking to the old characters, and they're like, man, what are you doing? I haven't, they're talking as if they've been there the whole time, and it's like, no, they haven't.
They just appear on the scene.
Yeah, like there is a scene where Shao Kahn's like, Kotal Khan, you dare take my throne? You were once on my team, and I was like,
wait, what?
No, he was never there.
Yeah.
Like, how does Shao Kahn know him? And then
exactly.
He's talking to Devourer, and he's like, Devourer, what's going on? I'm like, no, Devora's a new character. She just turned up.
She was with Kotal Khan, if anything.
Yeah. Well, she's doing her own thing, that character. But like, they're talking as if like they've been the whole time, but to us they haven't.
They know each other or something.
It's so bizarre, especially like the really really new characters. And there's other things they don't explain where it's. Well, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but other things where it's like they don't explain what exactly is going on.
Yeah, and also as well, I liked with the official trailer, not the one with 21 Savage. I mean, the one that was just before the game got released. I like the fact that they used the actual original film from the actual film.
Yeah,
I like that as well, because
there's a lot of references to Mortal Kombat, and then it's a time travel story, but it's very tongue in cheek. There are a lot of like jokes and there's a lot of silliness. Like,
I like that.
It's fun. It is a fun game. I mean, in terms of the story mode, in terms of like how it plays, fighting game combat online, fantastic. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. It plays solid like a fighting game should, but that's come to be expected from NetherRealm. So can't complain about that. But if you haven't already been sold, go buy Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, definitely.
If you ain't got no fighting games to play, I guess play that, I guess. Yeah. But anything else?
No, that's it. That's it for me.
I don't have anything else. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. I know it's been a bit odd in terms of like what we talked about. Because we technically didn't talk about a lot.
Yeah, not a lot has happened
this year. But we talked a lot.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
On Sonic.
It's mainly on Sonic. Sonic was like about 80% of this podcast.
Pretty much.
To be honest. But I guess if that's all, I'll end this podcast like I always do by saying I was the Angry Raccoon.
I'm the Indigenous Owl.
And we will see you on the next podcast.